first speaker she is very positive and energetic lady. She's a coach and just become our new member recently. This is her very first speech, Icebreaker speech. The purpose of this speech is to introduce you to your club and learn the basic structure of public speech. Her speech subject, it can happen to anyone. Her evaluator is Helen Lee. Let's warmly welcome Katarina Milanovic. Stage is yours.
Thank you, Tiemi. Have you ever experienced your expectations and your reality didn't match well? I have. Check it out. Look, I got 2 lines. Can you believe it? 2 lines. Don't worry, I'm not COVID positive. I'm pregnant. At least I was back in 2006. At that time, my plan was to graduate from university and get a promotion. Instead, I found myself packing my things and moving back home. After we arrived, we shared the good news with everybody, and every family member had their own plans and expectations for the baby. So did we. Me personally, I was so excited to have a boy because I used to be a great basketball player, and I was hoping he's gonna become a great one too. I even joked around saying that he will be born with a ball in his hands and shoes on his feet. So we will run to the basketball court as soon as we leave the hospital. After I gave birth, my mom came to visit me, and I told her, "Oh, Mom, I'm finally done." But she told me, "No, girl, you are just at the beginning. This is your first step into parenthood." At that time, I didn't understand that fully, but boy, did I learn. We went home from the hospital, and after a while, I had some feelings that our baby is different than other babies his age. So I shared these feelings with other family members. They told me maybe we should still wait for a while because he is still very small, and let's just see how everything develops. Okay, fine. One afternoon, I was feeding him and watching some show on TV. They started speaking about ASD, autism. They kindly listed 10 early signs which one could use to check if a child is on the spectrum or not. Out of those 10 early signs, I could already recognize 8 in our boy. Some of those signs were no eye contact, oversensitivity to loud noises, oversensitivity to bright lights. After I learned this, I went back to my family members and I told them everything I just learned. This time they said, "Okay, let's dig into that. Let's find more information." So we did. We looked for information online, we looked for books, and we also looked for experts. Going to the experts was the funniest thing ever. As soon as we would walk into the office, they would say, "You guys are such young parents. You are too concerned. You are overly scared. And your baby is so small, and also he is a boy, and boys are lazy. So why don't you go home and just enjoy his growth and don't worry about a thing. You can come back in a year or 2. Bye-bye, go." So they would send us away each and every time we tried to get a consultation. Every time when we went home, we would still be worried and we would continue digging for information. Days become months months became years, and his differences were growing every day. Eventually, when he reached around 5 or 5.5 years of age, we were finally able to assess him for autism. And guess what? He got diagnosed. So finally now, we had a piece of paper, black on white, which gave us the reason why he was so different than his peers. This brought us a lot of clarity, and also it gave us the chance to release some of the guilt we were feeling. Because throughout those years, we thought maybe it was something we did something wrong. But actually, we learned that autism is a genetic condition, which means it can happen to anyone. It can happen to any family. After the diagnosis, we were so proud how we handled our expectations, because today, Vuk is a teenager and he really loves basketball, but he is not a famous basketball player. He really loves music, but he still doesn't play an instrument. The only expectations we would allow ourselves to follow now would be his own expectations set by him. Other than that, we just accepted the reality, and we have let the expectations go. As long as you give your best, expectations don't matter anymore. Remember, it can happen to anyone. Thank you, everybody. Back to our TME.